My friends, welcome to the Mario Matter Nintendo Podcast, episode number 96. Thank you all for tuning in with your host, EmSwizzle or Max. That is my name. We have a guest on this episode today. More on that in just a second. In this episode, we dive into Nintendo news, including Nintendo suing people, someone getting arrested for something crazy. We go into the main topic of this podcast today, which is how much should Nintendo Switch 2 cost? It's a great discussion. After that, me and the special guest answer your questions you have left for us. And our special guest today is Josie from the YouTube channel Josie Woah. Josie is a Nintendo YouTuber talking about all sorts of stuff, even like looking back at the older games and even the current games that are coming out now, like even Endless Ocean Luminous. She covers those games that people don't like as well as, along with the good stuff and the older stuff. She's great. She even has her own podcast with, she's a co-host on there called Game and Talk. She appears on the Spawncast podcast. She does a lot of podcasting stuff, as you can tell, and she was a great fit for the episode. It was a great conversation. If you want to check her out, her links are down below. And I've kind of began doing this intro part where I introduce the guest during the intro of the podcast. So once we get over to talking to Josie, we pretty much dive right in to all the news. It's a great episode, and you will enjoy it, and you will not regret sticking around to the end. Although you don't have to, because I don't want to sound like one of those cringe people. Stay till the end. I'm not trying to be like that, but it's a great time. You'll enjoy it. And with that said, Bruce Buffer, please read the intro, and let's get to talking to our guest, Josie, and starting with Nintendo news from the past week.
Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Josie, welcome to the show.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome sauce. I've been wanting to get you on for a while. It has been a while. We finally got you on. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Tons of Nintendo news to get into today. There's a lot. Have you seen the topics that we were discussing today? It's a lot of crazy stuff.
I have. The lawsuits and whatnot.
There's lawsuits. Someone got arrested. I mean, freaking stuff's going down in the Nintendo world. We can go ahead and dive into our first news topic. So what I'll do is I'll read off the information here, and then we can openly discuss it. It's something here. So a lot of people know, as our first topic, Nintendo is back in the lawsuit game here. They have filed 2 lawsuits against modding companies, people who mod Nintendo Switches and make them lose money, essentially. So Nintendo lawsuit kings, they filed 2 lawsuits, one of them against moddedhardware.com. Josie, do you have any idea what moddedhardware.com might sell?
Don't they make the MIG switch?
I think they make, from my research, it's a site that sells pre-modded switches, but do they also make MIG switch? Did I miss that?
I don't remember who does that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know that they're getting sued too.
Oh, snap. Did I miss this? Didn't come up in my research. Hold on, I have to Google this now. MIG switch. Are they also getting sued?
Yeah, they just filed a lawsuit. It was a couple days ago. I know just because I'm on a podcast with a couple other people who were freaking out about it.
MIG switch. Oh, they are.
I don't remember who does it.
Dude, everyone's getting sued around here. Yeah, moddedhardware.com. I mean, from what I've read, they sell pre-modded switches and mod chips and stuff like that. They're getting sued. I guess MIG Switch, if it's not the same people, are also getting sued. And then also a lead moderator of the Switch Pirates subreddit for continuously promoting piracy. Now, Nintendo sent him a cease and desist in March 2024, but he never actually stopped at all promoting piracy. So I'm not really sure what that's about. Also, Josie, we're in a call, and I forgot to turn on my camera here. You can't even see me. That's a mistake. Either way, they are being sued. Not great. Not great for them. But I mean, listen, Nintendo's probably going to win, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't ever lose lawsuits, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, they have like such good lawyers. They're those people are done. Plus, a lot of times, like if they are promoting piracy, like they are kind of in the wrong. It's not something you can necessarily defend.
Yeah. And they're so quick to go after it just because, like, you know, they're losing money. So I kind of understand it. However, it's sometimes a bit aggressive. So it's whatever. It's like every week that you look for news, it's like Nintendo sues, and it's just kind of weird. But
yeah,
alas, that's our first piece of news. Pretty much expected. But our next piece of news, you know, we know that Nintendo likes to sue a lot of people and do things in that regard, and it happens a lot. But it's not very often at all, that you see somebody get put in jail for a Nintendo-related thing. And our next topic here, listen, honestly, when I put this on our notes, Josie, I didn't know the tone of this topic, but I'll just read it and cover it as is. A man has been sentenced to 4 months in prison for carrying around a mini 6-inch Master Sword. Thoughts?
What? Like, that's so crazy.
Dude.
Did he, like, try to stab the police with it? Like, I'm so confused.
Listen, I have no idea. But this was in the UK, because I saw some people saying, like, you know, people can carry guns, but they can't carry Master Swords. This was in the UK. I assume both are illegal. So this guy, I won't air his name, but you can find it. It's just not what I want to do. He was carrying around a 6-inch Master Sword, and he kind of called it his fidget toy, like it was just like a thing that he kept. And he approached the police with it, and I guess they arrested him. Listen, it's fair. If somebody approaches you with a Master Sword, I'd probably, you know, arrest them as well. And he got 4 months in prison and about a $200. It's a 154-pound fine, but it's about $200 if you go by U.S. currency dollars. Thoughts? I mean, this is just
so bizarre.
It's kind of like, what do you expect, though?
Yeah, true. Because like you can't just go up to police and start jabbing them with a Master Sword for sure. I wonder if he was like a threat with it. Like, I feel like that. I mean, I don't know how you would do that because I'm assuming it's fake, right? Maybe it is sharp or something, but
yeah, I assume it's fake. It might still be sharp because fun fact here, I have this like Switch dock. It's like a thing that you put your Switch dock in, and it has like a Master Sword in it. It's like 3D printed, but it's still sharp. I think if I was carrying that in public, I'd probably get taken away too.
Interesting. I went to too many games over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
And somebody gave like another guy on our podcast like a 3D printed like Master Sword, and it was very cool, but it was massive and it was also pretty sharp.
Jeez, dude. Yeah, I mean, toy or no toy, like it's probably still a threat. So
yeah,
you kind of have to arrest him there, but that's the news there. $200 fine, not bad. Is 4 months in prison too much?
Yeah, I think he should have just gotten fined. Prison is crazy. Can you imagine? He's like with these inmates who have like done actual crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
What are you in for? And
yeah, what are you in for?
Yeah. No.
I was carrying a Master Sword.
I feel like he'd get beat up in prison. Like, that's not...
Exactly. Jeez, dude. 4 months is a bit much for me. I would... Yeah. I mean,
I think he spends a night in jail and has to pay the fine, and that's enough.
There you go. I feel like there's people who do worse, but we don't really know like the full story.
I guess he like could have gone up to the cops and like tried to hit him with it or something, and that could be a little bit more.
If that's the case, then maybe 4 months is justifiable.
The UK is going crazy. I did not realize that.
I know, dude. Jeez. Our next piece of news, a bit more lighthearted than people suing people and people carrying Master Swords, to put it lightly. We have some general Nintendo Switch news. Listen, guys, there are let's count, 5 new games that are being added to the Nintendo Switch voucher list. Now, if you don't know what a Nintendo Switch voucher is, basically, if you're in the market for some digital Nintendo games, you can buy this voucher pack, which is $100, and you can get 2 Nintendo games with it if they're on the voucher list. So if I was to normally buy 2 $60 games, that'd be $120. With the voucher, you can save $20, get it for $100. And the 5 games added are Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, Mario and Luigi Brothership, Super Mario Party Jamboree, and The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I might be able to speak for you, Josie. I think we're both physical game collectors, and this means nothing for us.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do anything for me. But I think it's cool for, like, people who do want to save money like that, or, like, families or kids and stuff, you know? Because also, Luigi's Mansion shouldn't have been $60. Donkey Kong should not be $60. I mean, those are $40 ports, you know?
Yeah.
The other stuff is fine and cool, but at least it gives you a little off for that stuff. But, yeah, it does nothing. I'm not gonna use it.
Yeah. Did you pick up Luigi's Mansion 2 HD?
I actually went to the Nintendo New York store, and in all the excitement over there, I was like, all right, I have to get Luigi's Mansion 2. And I thought I was going to play it on the plane, and then I didn't at all. But I haven't played it before, so it is like a new game to me. I mean, it was originally $40 on the 3DS, so I don't know what we're doing with this pricing over here. And, like, Prime remastered $40, so why... And they did so much to that, too. So it's like, what are we... I don't know. The pricing structure with Nintendo is a little confusing sometimes, but now that I make videos, I'm like, I might as well get it.
Yep. Yeah, that's like my thought process, too. Like, because I do this podcast and do videos and stuff, like, I should be in the know, I should buy it. But, like, if I was just casual gamer, you know, in school, maybe I was in high school, I don't think I would pick it up for $60 because, like, it was $40 on 3DS, but, like, at the lowest, it was $20 at one point because it was in the whole selects. Listen, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD comes out. It's $60. Are you buying that?
Here's the thing. I love that game. I have a lot of nostalgia. That was, like, one of the first games I ever played as a kid, like, on the Wii, so I love it. But $60 is egregious. However, I've, like, you know, I'm doing a whole big Donkey Kong stream right now, and I'm like, I'll play it on stream. I have so much content that I can make around it that I just think it's worth it. But for the normal person, I don't think it's good at all. I would wait.
Especially because, like, they are adding not new content, but, like, they added more levels to the 3DS port, and now they're going to bring those.
Well, that
Switch.
was $40 though.
Yeah. And, like, you can probably buy the Wii copy and the 3DS copy for the same price as the Switch.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It's really bad. And you can get, like, the 3DS one I actually think went into selects as well.
Yeah.
So it's probably, $20. Like, I don't know. I think it's egregious. And I would wait for, like, Black Friday, because that and Luigi's Mansion seemed like a $35 get. Because I waited originally, like, in 2018 for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze to drop from 60 and then it dropped to 35 on Black Friday, and I grabbed it immediately. So
perfect. Yeah, I had seen your video. Listen, I was a little bit shocked. The first line that you said was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze was your favorite game of all time.
It is. I'm
not disrespecting it. It just shocked me, and it made me, like, think back to, like, how good of a game that actually was. I never, like, appreciated it until. I mean, I appreciate it. I never, like, took in how good it was until you said that it was your favorite. I was like, you know what? That actually was a pretty dang good game.
Yeah,
dude.
It's easy to, like, overlook, I think, but if you're a platformer person, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, it was like, you know, Wonder is really good now, but we've had it for years and years, and it was like one of the best games on the Wii U for sure, because there wasn't too many, but yeah.
I remember playing it. I picked it up at GameStop day one for the Wii U. I had it pre-ordered.
Wow.
And I played it for like 3 hours and just left it be. But
Oh.
like a few years later, I picked it back up and I beat it. So it was...
It's a pretty
Happy
brutal
ending.
game. I think
Yeah.
when I initially played it, I did something similar. I like played it on the Wii U when I was a kid, and we're around the same age, right? So I think
Similar, yeah.
yeah. So like you're young and you don't understand like how difficult this game is about to be, and I just remember like freaking out in my
Yeah.
room, like losing my mind. And I did not get gamer rage when I was little, but that game broke me. But
Yeah. Anyone who plays it is in for something. But yeah, I mean, I just never really appreciated it until you had brought it up. So that's... Now I have to replay it because
I'm glad.
I have to play it again at some point. I have it on Switch. So
You should stream it. It's kind of a fun game to stream if you've played before.
I should stream it so I can rage. No, I'm kidding.
You can rage. It's really, I mean, you're pretty family friendly, so you might have to censor your rage a little bit. But I don't know if you my Donkey Kong Country 2 streams, but that was unfiltered. Those were really crazy.
I've popped in a few times, but I don't remember much of the swearing. But I could maybe
I'm
imagine because those games are even harder, right?
A lot, yeah. Well, I mean, the actual levels I think are easier, but you can't save. It's not like auto-saving like these other ones. So it's like you beat one thing after hours of trying, and then you just die the next time without being able to save, and you're like, go all the way back, and it's like infuriating. And I didn't use like save states or rewinds at all because I knew I was going to make a video about it, and you know, like being a younger woman on the internet, like they'll give me flack for anything. So I was like, I got to do this the old school way and stuff. And to be honest, it was great and it was a really fun experience, but it's brutal. It's really, really brutal.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I ever went back to play those games, I would use save states. Dude,
Yeah.
listen.
That's how I recommend. Like, I think you should play it, but don't stream it and use save states and rewinds.
I played Paper Mario N64, and I used some save states just because, like, I didn't feel the need to like play it totally pure. And I got to the boss battle, which isn't crazy hard, but I was severely under-leveled in that game. I was just, like, too weak for the boss. So I used maybe 30 save states. After every attack and every successful block, save state. Just so I can do it perfect. And I was able to do it. So those are
How is that
lifesaver.
game?
For the N64, that game, it's charmful. I would say it's very similar to Thousand Year Door. It's very similar. Even like the partners are kind of similar. Like you get. I'm trying to remember because it was like a few months ago, but I just knew that. How do I word it? Sorry, the Thousand Year Door partners have like the same abilities as like the N64 partners, so it's kind of similar in that way. It's still a very charming game, and I liked it. It's probably I would put it just under Thousand Year Door in terms of like my favorite Paper Marios, but it was still very good. I enjoyed it. It was good.
Okay. I've been like looking at maybe going and checking it out because I've like lately played it, but I haven't beaten it at all. But I have a hard time with like RPGs sometimes. They're just very long.
Yes. Listen, do you do this too? Whenever, like, listen, before I play a game, I have this huge backlog of games to beat. So I like to beat a bunch of games. I always look at how long games are. So I'll go on howlongtobeat.com and I'll type in these games. Thousand Year Door was like 30 hours or something. I'm like, bro, I'm in for something here.
Yeah, no, I even like looked up the other day because I was like, I'll stream Luigi's Mansion in one go because I streamed all of Princess Peach Showtime and that was really fun. And so I was like, there's no way it can be that long. And then it was like 12 to 18 hours, and I was like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, it took me like 12, but now let's go there. Have you played Luigi's Mansion 2?
No.
Okay. I won't say anything then, but I have some thoughts. But we can talk about it after you play because I don't want to like spoil anything or anything.
Well, you can say a little bit.
I didn't like it.
Oh no!
I didn't like it, but
Is it too
love
linear?
Luigi's Mansion.
I heard like a lot of people don't like the linear structure of it because it's like structured like a handheld game, right?
I don't really feel that. My thing is just like it's hard. They throw you in And I feel like I have no pointers apart from go to this room. Then there's like this wild puzzle I have to figure out. Maybe it's a skill issue. I don't know. And then also, I just don't like how it's structured like a mission. Like there's missions, there's like levels instead of like go to the mansion and I don't know. I just don't like it.
You like 3 though?
I like 3 and I like 1. 1 is my favorite.
Really? I actually haven't played that one.
I think because the eeriness, it's something about the GameCube, like just the GameCube vibe, like the older vibe. I think that plays a big part. Soundtrack's great, and it did feel more eerie. I kind of like that part.
Did you play it on the GameCube?
I did, but I was like, well, I played it. I was like 4, and my babysitter would play it for me, and I would watch. I didn't actually play it myself until about. I dabbled in it when I was like 9, but I never really beat the game myself until about 1 year ago, actually.
Oh, wow. And did you, on the 3DS or the...
On 3DS,
original?
actually. Yep.
Okay, cool. I was looking at getting that at some point.
Yeah, because that's probably a bit cheaper than the actual GameCube one.
Yeah. The guys I do the podcast with want to send me a GameCube because I never had a GameCube, and they want to send me a bunch of games with it to, like, review as, like, someone who hasn't really played it, on the podcast, and I think it'd be really fun, but I'm trying to get them to send me Luigi's Mansion.
Well, they're going bankrupt.
They're crazy. They're literally crazy. They have like lines and lines of GameCubes. They have like 10 of them, and they're like, "Well, I'll just send you one." And I was like,
"Yeah, I'm just kidding." I've been looking at getting a orange one. What color would you prefer of GameCube?
I think I'd go with the classic purple.
Oh yeah, purple's nice.
Because I've never owned one, right? So I feel like I need to get that feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That classic purple, that nostalgia, it's great. But hopefully, one day, all those come to Switch Online, and we don't have to pay crazy prices for games. It'll be a great day when that happens.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. But we do have one more piece of news. It is actually a quote from the Nintendo president, Shuntaro Furukawa, and he's given his thoughts on generative AI. Now, listen, I wasn't sure to bring this up in the podcast, not for any reason. It just didn't seem like the biggest piece of news until I searched Nintendo and clicked news, and this was like every single article ever. So I was like, you know what, let's bring it up. So they had a shareholders meeting, as they do, and that's kind of where you get the Nintendo president, Shuntaro Furukawa, to say certain things and ask him questions, and somebody asked him about whether or not they would ever use generative AI. To my understanding, generative AI, you tell it to draw something, and it does it. Am I correct there?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think how they do it in games is like it will like read off something that wouldn't be read otherwise. You know, like Endless Ocean?
Yep.
That game has generative AI. It's
The
not
voice?
made by... Yeah, the voice. It's not made by in-house Nintendo, so his quote still stands, but like that voice and stuff, that very robotic voice is what that is.
I hate that, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
What do you think of that game?
Listen, I'm one for the relaxation games. I'm one to wind down and go look at fish.
No substance.
No substance. There's no reason for me to go back. They even, whenever I get lost on a game, so let's say Mario Strikers Battle League, I play it and I forget it. I always say what would bring me back to a game is in-game events. They did in-game events, and I still didn't want to go back and play. Like, it was that
and they
bad.
did something with streamers, too. I thought that was so funny that was the game that they were like, stream it, and we'll shout you out on Nintendo. And I was like, what?
Yeah, that was something. I did enjoy it, initially. My thoughts were like, it was for a niche audience, and I do kind of enjoy it. There's just no bringing me back to it.
I agree.
It's just kind of, you play it and you're done. My other complaint, last thing that I'll say, and then I'll get to the generative AI quote that I'm supposed to be reading. I don't like how there's not an easy way to play online. So there's 30 players online mode. That's all fun and dandy, but you have to know the people and share a code to 30 people. You can't like join a random lobby. Like, where am I going to find 30 people to play the game with?
Yeah.
On a stream, I guess, but like, even if you stream it, you have to pray that 30 of your viewers have the game.
Yeah, which is not happening.
Not happening at all. Like, it's bad. But for generative AI, Shantaro Furukawa said, in the game industry, AI-like technologies have long been used, for example, to control the movements of opponent characters. So I believe that game development and AI technology have always had a close relationship. Generative AI, which is becoming a big topic recently, can be used in creative ways, but we recognize that it may also raise issues with intellectual property rights. We have decades of know-how in creating the best gaming experiences for our players. While we are open to utilizing technological developments, we will work to continue delivering value that is unique to Nintendo and cannot be created by technology alone. A lot of people liked this response because I definitely don't want them to go AI heavy. I feel like that's going to be a mess, you know?
Oh, yeah. No, I think it takes a lot of creativity out. It's just like AI has no idea what it's doing. It's just copying and meshing together everything, and it's the most robotic, boring stuff ever. Like, have you ever like gone to ChatGPT and told it to like give you like a YouTube video script?
Yes.
It's like horrible. It's like, hi, my name's Josie, and I'm so excited, and it's like, it's awful. It's like there's no personality to the most like basic YouTuber thing you could possibly do, and so I'm really glad that they have said this. And it's like worth noting that generative AI and other types of AI are very different. So it's like generative AI is like generating text or something based off of a response to what you give. But there is a lot of AI, like AI upscaling, AI DLSS, or like in fighting games, like, I don't know if you know what, like in Tekken, you can play against an opponent and it learns your moves and then it will like play to those weaknesses, and that's AI analyzing your movement.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really cool in parts like that. But yeah, I was really happy with the response.
Yeah, I think what you just named, I think that's a great use of AI, because even he said like, you know, I'm not sure if Smash Bros does it to that level where they like learn your moves or whatever, but you know, he says like, for example, to control the movements of opponent characters. Like, I guess AI would be used there.
Yeah.
But I would never want generative AI. Because even like how you said, ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT a lot. I actually I'm not sure if this is something that people don't do. I pay for the good ChatGPT because it's really good at a lot of things. I don't ever ask it for like scripts and stuff, but like, I will make a script and say, rate my script, what can I improve, roast it, you know, things like that. And even still, sometimes it's just like whack. I feel like I'm not opposed, honestly, to generative AI, but not now. Give it like 15 years before it's like good, you know?
Yeah, I think it needs a lot of time. AI just isn't good at creative stuff like at all.
Yeah.
And so... And like you said, it's probably great for what you're asking it to do because it has a goal, it has a thing it needs to do, and it builds off of what you already gave it. But, you know, like if you're like just trying to get some creative, fun dialogue for the next Paper Mario game and you throw it through, you know, ChatGPT, it's going to be horrible.
It's going to be terrible. Listen, I'm trying to think now because like, yeah, I would never want AI to write a Paper Mario game. That would be bad. Generative AI, you can use, maybe make the background look cool. I don't know, but I would never want it to replace the writing because the Paper Mario writers are the best.
Yeah.
I would never want that. That's a scary world. I would like to see, honestly, and maybe some games do use AI. I would like to see more AI games just to test the waters. And hopefully one day it can be like, I mean, maybe one day it can be normalized. It can be decent enough. I don't know.
You know what would be cool is if like you give a response and you can like type out a response or something in a game. Like they ask you a question, you can type out a response, and then it's tailored to that. That would be really cool.
And but I feel like that would need heavy testing because like,
and we are so far away. We need years and years.
We're years, but I feel like that even needs heavy testing because like, what if you say the wrong thing?
I know, and it just like cusses you out or something.
Yeah,
crazy.
Could you imagine that? Oh God, yeah, we are years away, but hopefully, is it a hopefully? Maybe eventually. I don't know. I think it could be nice one day. It just needs to be good.
Yeah.
But that is our news for this week. But the show is not over yet. our big segment, the title of the podcast, we must go over here. And that question, the topic here is, how much should Nintendo Switch 2 cost? It's a big topic. Switch is $300. Wii U, I believe the deluxe set was $350. The prices vary, man. Prices vary, but we will dive into this and discuss the pricing of the next console. Let's skadoodle. So, we know Nintendo is going to be announcing the Nintendo Switch 2, which is the code name for it, sometime within the next year, before the end of their fiscal year, which I believe is up in March, if I have that correct. So, it's going to be sometime later this year. I don't think it'll be announced early next year. It's a pretty safe thing to say it'll be announced later this year. And one thing everyone's looking at is the price for the next console. Obviously, you have Xbox and PS5 at the 500 marks, 300 for the Xbox if you want it digital. Wait, is that right? $300 for the digital Xbox?
Yeah, for the Series S, I think.
Okay, gotcha. 500, 300. Switch and Nintendo consoles have always been kind of lower than those guys in terms of price. Josie, let's start with this question. What is, and it's a hard question, what is the most that you would pay for a Nintendo Switch 2?
Ooh.
It's hard, because, like...
I want one so bad.
Yeah, so, like, you might pay, like, $1,000 if they put that up. I would never want that, but, like...
I think, like, comfortably, I would probably pay $500, but I wouldn't be happy about it.
Yeah.
I would be upset. I think $500 is way too much.
No, I agree. I think 500... The only way I could ever see them do 500 is if they did, like, the whole thing that everyone's talking about where they would put two screens and you
and
can,
they're
like,
both
dock
4K
one.
OLED, like, amazing.
That'd be worth it, I think. And it would have, like, Wii U backwards compatibility because, like, you dock one and then you hold one. It's a Wii U. That would be nice, but honestly, if it is over 500... I don't care if it's worth it or not. I don't think it sells well.
No. Well, because they lose a lot of their market. You know, like a lot
Yeah.
of families get these things for their kids because it's affordable. And if they break it, it's not like the end of an, like, I don't know. It's not like they lose a whole investment, I guess. But yeah, having it be more expensive, I think will just isolate it and make it not sell as well as it should, unfortunately.
Yeah, because, like, the whole market, I mean, like, Wii was what? I wasn't around. Was it like 300 or 250? Like, it was...
Oh, God. I think it was like two.
It was somewhere around there. It was affordable. Then Switch is 300. They always like to, I feel like, keep the lower price compared to their competitors.
Yeah, it was 250, the Wii.
250, okay. That's hard to say, because, like, a current Switch is 300. 350 for the OLED.
200 for the light.
Oh yeah, dude, 200 for a light. I'm really, like, trying to throw out I'm trying to throw out a number here. Like, what number should they actually price it at?
I lean towards 400, and then oh no, because if they do an upgrade of that would be like 450, which is too much.
I think you can get away with 350, but.
You think, like, the base Switch is 350?
Base Switch 2, yes. But I don't even... I think 300 is such a good price.
300 is a good price, but it's also, like, inflation has been really crazy lately.
Yeah.
And, like, did you hear about, like, Sony was, like, raising the price of the PS5 places because of inflation?
I did not hear about that. Dang.
They, like, not in America, but in other like, places, they raised it like $50 for no reason, just because of inflation. But yeah, I think, like, well, here's the thing: if they go 400, it'd be $399, so it doesn't look as bad to parents. But I don't know.
It's still cheaper than Xbox.
Yeah, and I think they
least-
have to be below those consoles.
Yeah, because, like, when they did try and compete with Wii U, I guess, I mean, is it really a competitor? It was, like, closer in price, I would say, because, I still forget what Xbox and PS4 launched at, but with the Wii U being $350 at the highest, it was $300 and $350, I think, for the basic and the deluxe. I still feel like I'm so lost. I'm trying to figure out a number here. I think, honestly, here's what you do. I think you price. There's more variables because they launch with two versions, OLED version and basic version.
No, there's no way. That's got to be like a mid-gen refresh because that's how they get people to buy two.
Yep, exactly. I think. Can they do 300? Because
the thing is it gonna be 4K? Is it gonna be like the quality that we want? And I think it needs to. It needs to be future-proofed a little bit. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna have a lot more processing power than the Switch does. But also, a lot of parts and stuff have gone down in price recently.
Yep. Because even with computer parts, this is what I kind of related to. Mm-hmm. You can buy a graphics card now, and probably in a few years, you'll be able to buy a better one for the same price, if not cheaper. So you just don't have to charge a crazy amount for Switch 2. I think what you do is you launch it no more than $350, but I would honestly lean towards $300 and put the Switch 1 on sale a little bit after.
I agree. I kind of feel like they would go with $350 for the base one because then for the OLED they charge $399, and I think that's a good price for what they throw in that a couple years later. And then by proxy, they could basically slash the Switch to $250, and that looks like it's just $50 off, but that looks like it's $100 less than this system.
You can do that as well.
I feel like part of
Yep.
I feel like part of the conversation is what do you think they have? What technology do you think is in this thing? Is it 4K 60?
No.
Does it have DLSS? You don't think so?
Not 4K 60.
What about docked? Because the industry is moving. The industry is moving to 6K and stuff too, especially if you look at I think the PS Pro is marketed as a 6K capable.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it's too much of a step up. Nah. No, it's not. Yeah, maybe that they could have 4K 60. I would love that, by the way. And then Xbox and PS5 moved to 6K. What even is 6K? I've never heard of this. It's the next step, but it's
yeah. It's a little bit better, but it's not very noticeable. I'm not a big graphics or performance person. I just, as long as it works, it works. But I think they might want to go a route where they're a little bit more competitive with at least this generation, because they are going to be, 4 years behind the PS4 or PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. So I feel like you gotta future-proof it just a little bit. Because, the Switch now, everybody's it's so dated or whatever, and so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Give me 4K and give me no more than 350. 350 is safe. They can get away with that because, so many people I feel have OLEDs, and that's 350, and maybe they even had a Switch before that, and so they have two Switches, and they already paid 350. I think 350 is what you can get away with. 400, I think you're in for a disaster.
Yeah, I agree, because that's just no kids are gonna do that and stuff. Do you think we're gonna have a similar split with how the Switch is, where it's the Lite and the OLED and then the normal one? A couple years down the line, not right out the gate.
I think yes, because the DS and 3DS did that. You had DS, then you had DS Lite, DSi, DSi XL, and then with the successor, you had new 3DS XL, new 3DS, new 2DS XL, 3DS XL, and 3DS, and 2DS. There's so many things.
Yeah.
And even with Wii U, which is the other successor to the Wii, you didn't have many, but you had the Wii U basic set, which I think the only difference was it was white and it had less storage and it didn't have like these cool stands that came with the deluxe set.
Oh yeah.
And then there was the deluxe Wii U, which had more storage. It was like 2 models still. I think they'll have multiple. Because, I mean, Switch Lite works. There's people who don't want to fork over $300 or people who just want to play casually handheld. I think Switch Lite works well. I'm not sure how well it's sold, like in terms of all the Switches out there. But I think it works.
I think it's great for kids, too. Like, really good for kids. Because that's basically, like, the replacement of what the 3DS was.
Yep. Yeah, indeed. And there's rumors of, like, the Switch 2 not even launching with an OLED screen. So then you can then make one later with an OLED screen.
That's like $400. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that would be a lot, though. $400 for the OLED. I don't think... I probably wouldn't do that, honestly, if it doesn't have crazy new features, just because like you already paid $350 for a Switch 2, and then later down the line you want to upgrade. That's $400 though. It's not much from the OLED, but it's like it just doesn't look good. $400 for a little upgrade OLED screen. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just like the other thing is that usually after something super successful like the Switch was, Nintendo gets a little confident.
Yeah.
And like, is that confidence enough for them to be like, okay, these games are going to cost a little bit more to make, like everything's costing more. Why not charge $350 or something? Because Sony and Xbox, they like lose money per console. Like they don't make money. They make money on software. Console's like more of an investment. And so Nintendo has always been a little bit of the opposite, and they have made money. So it's the question of, do they want to keep making money, or are they going to go that route where they understand that taking a little bit of a loss on that is going to, lead to higher software sales and things like that.
Mm-hmm. This is a bit unrelated, but what do you think will launch with the next system? Because I think if you have a strong enough launch game, somebody out there is going to pay anything, like if you have your new 3D Mario, people are going to pay.
Yeah, I think a 3D Mario would probably be the perfect thing to do it with, to be honest. And then I think in that launch window, you also put Mario Kart like coming out the following month. And if they want to get real interesting with it, I think we could get like a 3D Mario and maybe even Prime 4 like as a cross release from the original Switch and this Switch 2. But a lot of people were talking about how Prime 4 would be like the main thing, and I don't think that would sell anything. Like, I love Metroid, and I think it's a great franchise, and, Prime is really cool and everything, but that's such a hardcore audience that is not the majority of people. And, yeah.
I could kind of see it. I could see it launch with the Switch, but no way that's like the big seller. You would have to have... I think what you need is 3D Mario, a tech demo of some sort, so like 3-4 Switch, and 3-4 Switch, and Metroid Prime 4. I think that's a strong launch.
That's amazing. I mean, because you have the casuals, you have just like the Nintendo base fans with Mario, and then you have like the really hardcore audience happy with Metroid. I think that'd be amazing. And I think they should do like, I want them to call the Switch 2 the Super Switch really bad, and I want them to launch it with Super Switch Sports.
That would be cool. Would you do a
Take away the sports buddies.
Would you do a Super 1-2 Switch? They can redeem themselves.
Did you play everybody's 1-2 Switch? That was worse than the first one.
I did, but listen, one more chance for redemption here. 1-2 Switch wasn't great. Everybody 1-2 Switch, no one asked for it. It was not great either. You have one more chance, make 3-4 Super Switch.
What do they even do there, though?
You introduce the camera on Switch 2, and that's like half the games. Camera games.
Just taking pictures around your house.
Taking pictures, exactly. Take a picture of something.
What if it's like a camera, right? Same idea, a camera, but it's Super Switch Sports, and they like watch your boxing form and critique it.
Floyd Mayweather's Super Switch Sports.
Yeah.
You can like make a Mike
Logan
Tyson's
Paul's-
Punch Out type thing.
Yeah. Logan Paul's Super Switch Sports.
Logan Paul's, or just make Logan Paul's Punch Out. 6 copies sold.
I'd be there day one.
I would buy it too, just to see what that's all about. Oh man. Or bring back Mike Tyson's Punch Out and just put like Jake Paul in there.
Did you hear about that fight?
Yeah. I was excited for it.
Crazy.
People like are downing it like it's not going to be a real fight. I don't care. I'm just there for the event. I'm there for it's like a big event. I'm just going to watch. I don't know.
I'm so there to see Jake just get knocked by Mike Tyson.
My only worry for that fight is like, is it actually a fight? Because like there's
Yeah.
like boxing exhibitions and they're just, it's a pro fight they're calling it. But I just feel like, Mike did a fight a few years ago and it was just like pitter patter. Like it wasn't really a fight. It was just like let's get in the ring. I hope that's real. Do you, were you or are you a fan of the Punch-Out games?
I do like Punch-Out. I haven't really gotten super into them, but I love Little Mac was my main in Smash for a long time, so I love his character. And I've played like both I haven't played the Wii one, which is like supposedly the best one.
That is the best one, yeah.
Yeah. So I really want to check that out, but I've played the NES and SNES ones and I think it's great. I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, Punch-Out Wii, I would love that on Switch.
Oh, that'd be a
Like-
cool port.
Yeah, especially, I mean, even like F-Zero, which hasn't had a game in forever, just got not a F-Zero port or anything, but like a
Yeah,
kind
but
of
99.
a mini revival in F-Zero 99. Give me Punch-Out 99. Give me
Oh, yeah.
something for Punch-Out. I would like that. That'd be awesome.
I would too.
But Switch 2, our final thoughts. How much is a good price for Switch 2?
I'm going to say $350. I'm going to say they go with $350.
Same. $350. And then maybe if it doesn't go well, you do the whole 3DS thing and knock it down and give people free games. Like the
I'm
whole
so down
ambassador.
for that. The ambassador program comes back.
Yeah. You can do one of those.
Yeah.
300 I feel is extra safe, but I think they can get away with 350.
Yeah, I think after the hype of the Switch, they can easily coast on 350. I just think you obviously can't start that like at 400 or more than that.
But I do kind of see a problem if they want to make an OLED or something in the future. That's 400. That's just a lot. I mean, it's not much more than 350. It's $50 when you're already paying 350, but it just looks like a lot.
Yeah, didn't the like pro versions of the PlayStation and Xbox though like charge $50 more and it was like $450 or almost $500 or something?
I forget. I
might be making that up, but
I forget.
I feel like it'll start to become industry standard where I think like at that point 400 won't feel like too much because of inflation and like games are going up to 72.
Yeah. Oh, if they make 70, how much are games on Switch 2?
70.
Really?
I think like as long as it's like a main like 3D Mario 70, Metroid
Yeah.
Prime 70, maybe Switch Sports, Super Switch Sports or like 1247 Switch, like maybe that's like 50 and 50 becomes that affordable price point. But I mean they charge 70 for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. And they got away with it. Millions of copies.
Yeah.
So they can do that for sure. If you can they sold what 10 million copies of Zelda in I think 3 days or so. They had,
That
tweeted
like
out.
broke like every record.
If you can do that, obviously that's like one of the biggest games on Switch, so that's gonna do crazy numbers. But even like, I feel like you can maybe. No. I was going to say that you can maybe do that for like a Mario Tennis, but honestly, that might be a bit much. 70 for a Mario Tennis might be kind of crazy.
Yeah. I think 70's got to be for like the big heavy hitters that take like years and years to develop and like everything else. Because there is that 50 price point right now that they put like Donkey Kong or Mario versus Donkey Kong and a lot of the WarioWare games. Yeah. So like they do that with a lot of the sports and the stuff that isn't as crazy at $60. I think that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see, and maybe we'll have you back on once they reveal all the prices. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be, well, maybe, hopefully it's fun. If they launch it at 400, it's not gonna be fun for the wallet, but
no, none of it's fun for the wallet. The $70 too. I'm like, oh god, especially with how like none of their games ever go on sale.
Mm-hmm. When do you think they reveal the price? Like, is it this year or like next year? Some big presentation, kind of like for the Switch.
When did they do it for the Switch? Did they do it in that first trailer? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so, because I think it was probably in that presentation they did. I wasn't there for it, and I haven't like watched the entire thing, but I would imagine it was in there.
Yeah, I'd say probably then. So probably like close to launch-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember the price getting revealed on like Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, really?
And
was it?
I might be wrong. That's probably when I saw it, and it was probably revealed in that presentation, but that was right around that presentation too, so.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. But with that said, the show is still not over. We have the people's favorite segment, the Answering Your Questions segment. Josie, do you know what we're doing over there?
Oh, I do. I'm so ready. I'm a big fan of the show.
We're answering your questions. Let's go ahead and get over to it. Ladies, gents, it's your favorite segment of the week. It is the Answering Your Questions segment. We, by the title of the segment, are going to be answering your questions. If you do want to leave us a question, there's one way, actually. In the link down below, you can head over to my YouTube community tab where I post a post every single Wednesday before 12 p.m. Eastern time. You can go over there, check it out. It has a funny, cursed image, something that you shouldn't be seeing as the image for the post. You can leave your comments there, and if you are a channel member, you do get a guaranteed question if you are of the Swizzle Prime membership tier. So all cool stuff. Our first question comes from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Leonardo, 1989. They ask, I was wondering if you ever go to pawn shops or thrift stores or flea markets looking for games.
I feel like I've gone to a couple Goodwills because my friends like to go thrifting, and I have the worst sizes and everything, so it doesn't work for me. So I look for games, but I've never found anything, to be honest. I went to too many games like over this last week, and I found a lot of stuff there, and that was really cool. But that wasn't really like a pawn shop. Those are like gaming retro stores. But I did get I got Bayonetta Origins for $30, which was awesome.
Yeah. There's some good deals over at thrift stores. Any of those just, I guess, I mean, even like, conventions, flea markets, they have no idea what the price games. Some, conventions do because they're into games more. But listen, I've gone to kind of a flea market. It was kind of a flea market type thing. I actually have, and I've gotten some really good deals. Listen, I'm gonna tell you this one story. I've gotten several good deals, but I'll tell you this one. I once, Josie, I bought a Game Boy Color with Zelda Oracle of Seasons in it. It was in great condition and it worked well. Guess how much I paid for it?
Like a couple hundred?
Lower.
50.
Lower.
What? That's crazy.
No. But wait till you figure out how low.
20?
Lower.
Whoa. Like, all right, let me hit us with 7.
Lower.
You're kidding. Was it free?
It was $2.
What?
But I think the person who was selling it was like this mom. I think she must have thought it was like one of those McDonald's, Target toys or whatever that like you buy and throw away. It was $2.
That's crazy. It works.
It works great, but I sold it because I had no interest. I don't know. I just didn't really need it, but I sold it. That was probably my greatest find. I have found other things like there was this GameCube screen attachment. It was like $10. Sold that too. Like, it's just kind of nice to go to flea markets. You can find things, but I haven't been in a while.
I went to like a book sale at a library like by me, and they had video games, and I got Mario Kart 8 like on the Wii U and Hyrule Warriors for 50 cents together.
Oh, what a steal.
That was crazy.
That's
the boxes
pretty good.
are in horrendous conditions, so I'm probably going to have to get new boxes, but the games work great.
Well, that's all that matters. That's perfect. 50 cents is crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. They like, but it was like branded with all of their stuff. It was like property of the library. And I was like, I feel like I'm stealing this from them.
50 cents is perfect, though. User asks, what character do you want to be added to Smash Bros. The most? There are multiple good options. Oh, I know.
You go ahead. I don't know.
I can go first if you want to think. Honestly, like my answer is pretty boring. You would think that, I would want some third-party crossover character. No, give me KK Slider from Animal Crossing. Or Tom Nook. Tom Nook. Give me Tom Nook. Or even Elephant Mario. Give me any of those.
Elephant Mario would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. I want Toadette.
Oh, that's a good one. No Toad? Toad and Toadette, maybe?
Yeah, they could be skins of each other, but I'd like to see what they would do with like that character model and like how she would work. Plus, I love Toadette. She's my girl. I play as her in Mario Kart all day. So
that would be nice. KK Slider, Tom Nook, Toadette. Adam, Nintendo, please. Cobweb asks, what is your favorite competitive game? Games where you can fight for a rank and stuff like that.
I really like Splatoon, and I don't know if that's the same, but I'd go with Splatoon in that regard, because I don't think I play anything other than that and like Fortnite, where that could be like a sort of competitive type thing.
Splatoon was also my answer. It's just nice. It's like it's what it is. It's a Nintendo shooter, and I feel like that's perfect, because I'm not really into I was into Fortnite. I'm not really into Call of Duty and these other competitive games. Splatoon, I feel like is my go-to for a competitive, intense kind of game. I don't really ever play the ranked stuff though. I sometimes do like the Rainmaker and stuff, but I'm more so just a turf war guy.
Yeah, I like turf war too. I get bored of it sometimes, and then I'll do the other modes. But yeah, I'm mostly a turf war person as well. Funny story, when I went to go buy Call of Duty, because I don't like Call of Duty, but it was like $20 at GameStop, and it was Modern Warfare 3, and I was like, I'll probably talk about it on the podcast, I should probably check it out, and I haven't played a Call of Duty game ever. I went and bought it, and this was like 2 days after I turned 21, so I go to Trader Joe's before then, and I buy a ridiculous amount of alcohol, and I don't get carded, right? They don't like ask for my card. Then I go into GameStop same day with all the alcohol in my car, and I like pick it up and I hand it to him, and he's like, ID. And I was like, do I look 16? I just bought so much alcohol. Like, it was crazy. I've never been guarded at a GameStop. It was
crazy.
It was insane. And the fact that I literally had just bought so much, I was like, that's really not what I wanted to hear right now.
The greatest part was the alcohol part. They didn't even ask you? Or
they
what?
didn't ask me, no.
It's
I just
crazy.
went up to Trader Joe's, and I had a lot. It was not a normal amount. But they did not ask me at all. No card, no nothing. And then I go to GameStop to get my $20 Call of Duty, and you have to be 17. It's not 18 either. It's 17. And so I was like, I look 16? That's awful.
Yeah.
No.
I've never even seen it. Is it normal to ask for the person's ID when you buy a mature game? I've never seen that. Is it like a thing?
It's never been a thing when I've bought stuff, but I guess I haven't really gotten many mature games other than Bayonetta and stuff, because I'm not really I just play mostly Nintendo. But I was shocked. He was like, can I have your ID? And I was like, what? I guess.
Crazy. Dude, that's something. Okay, next question. Mick Scooch asks, what's your favorite non-first party, so I guess third party, Nintendo game on Switch? Or they call second party games the ones that are made by someone but published by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Is that right? So I guess those are on the table too.
Oh, okay, great. Box Boy. Have you played that?
I have not.
It's by HAL Laboratories, the same team that makes Kirby. The best game. The best game ever. If you, like, have, like, a significant other, like, that game, 2-player, is amazing. And it's, like, a whole separate campaign. So you can play it double, like, co-op, and then there's a whole other campaign to just play single player. So much content, and it's phenomenal.
The only knowledge I have of Box Boy is that stupid
QB
rare
amiibo.
amiibo. Yeah, that one. I should play the actual game. How much is it? Do you know?
It's like $10 on the eShop. Yeah, it's awesome. I highly recommend it, and it's got like hours of gameplay if you want that.
My answer, and it's a game that you didn't like. Maybe we can talk about it because I watched your video on it because I was interested. Like, is it just me who loves this game? Apparently, it was because my favorite. It's a second-party game. Is Another Code Recollection.
Ooh, oh, interesting. Why do you like it? I mean, I can see the appeal, but what's your...
The story, I think, mostly sold me. Like, it's not the greatest game to, I guess, control. Like, Ashley moves very slow, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, you can run, but, like, it's not the greatest looking and controlling game. But the story is what got me. It's got these twists and turns, and maybe it just sat well with me in general. But that made me go back and buy the 2 original games on the DS and the Wii. That made me go back and buy those. It was just such a good game. And guess where it is on my top Switch games?
Where?
Number 2.
That's insane.
I know. And the thing is, I didn't even know about it until it came out like 6 months ago. So I'm kind of a bandwagon fan in a way, but like it was just so good. Like I liked it. I don't know.
I really like the story in that game. I think that's the best part of that game for sure. I think it'd probably be much better if it moved faster. It just pissed me off how slow everything moved. And maybe it's because of my ADHD. So maybe that's what the issue is, but I don't know.
Did you like the first story or the second one better?
I really like the first one. I think the first one was better.
First was good, but the second one was kind of cool too. I liked
the first one, but she was like, I'm old and I'm emo now and I'm in a band. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. It was less dark than the first one.
Yeah, the first one was pretty dark.
So maybe I appreciated that. But I think it's good. I think that's my favorite, of course.
I don't think it's a bad game.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Mm-hmm. My first favorite is Animal Crossing. What is your first party favorite or any top 1 Switch game?
I think it's Mario Odyssey, which is basic. And then it's probably like Breath of the Wild, which is again pretty basic of me. And then Splatoon. Yeah. I don't have actually Box Boy is like number 5, to be honest. Okay. So I love it.
I need to go and play that. I've never even played it. I got to go play it. Put that on the backlog. I have this huge backlog of games. Yeah. Were you also like this? I feel like, I've talked to other Nintendo creators around this age. Do you just have this giant backlog of games from like when you were younger that you would play games and you just didn't ever beat them? So now you have this huge backlog?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was like that with Mario Galaxy for a long time. Like, I loved that game as a kid, and I just never beat it.
Mm-hmm. That's the case with me. I have so many games I want to beat. I'm playing Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga next because I have to prepare for Brothership.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. I feel like I should do that, too. I feel like at the age like we are, it's so easy to miss so many games because like you're growing up during when all of these things are coming out. So the Switch is really the first console that I've been like locked into playing like the majority of the brand new exciting stuff.
Yeah, same. I've never been locked in until, honestly, not until like 2021. I've had YouTube and stuff always, but even like when my favorite game now on the Switch was coming out, Animal Crossing New Horizons, I was not in the loop. I think I saw maybe one trailer of it. I didn't watch that big direct that they did, before the game came out. I was only like in the loop like late 2020 or so.
Yeah.
I like saw everything then. But yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, same. I was really only in the loop in like 2016 or 2017 and through the Switch stuff, but like the Wii U, I just bought what I thought looked cool on the shelf, and I was
Yep.
yeah.
What's exciting though is now that we're in the loop, we can be in the loop for everything Switch 2. And that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I'm really looking forward to. All right, expect a ghost. Do you think the next Direct will be focused on Switch again or on the successor to the Switch? And when do you think that next Direct will be?
I think I could see it being a split almost, where it's like focused on like the later half of the Switch's life, and then also at the end of that, it sort of like unveils maybe this next system and maybe the launch titles with it. Because like we are getting pretty close, so the next thing would probably be like September, right? Is that when the
around there.
And I think they said like in that thing that like in the tweet they put out that this was like the last Switch focused Direct, right?
I don't remember that, but I think it was just like, we won't mention Switch 2 here.
Okay, yeah, maybe that's what I'm... Okay, I'm lying to you guys. My bad.
Trying to think here. I think you do reveal it in the next Direct. You can make a special presentation, tune in this day for a special announcement, and obviously that's going to be Switch 2. You can do that, but I think what you do is you make a September Direct, and you make it about Switch for the first, say if it's 40 minutes, maybe first 20 or 30 minutes. Because you can't really announce many new titles if it's September. The furthest thing that we know right now is January with Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. You're going to have maybe a February Switch 1 title, but like by March or April, Switch 2 is going to be out. So we kind of need to know a bit more into that time. So I think what you do is you talk about Switch 2 for the last 20 minutes of the September Direct, and you announce the console, what it looks like, maybe a name, and then a launch title like a 3D Mario, April 2024. I think you put the roadmap out.
I agree.
It's just you just can't announce anything, because March or April is when the Switch 2 will probably release. You gotta have some games, but they're gonna be on Switch 2. I just feel like you gotta announce those games. So September, probably.
Yeah.
September. Guari, how many gold coins do you have in the eShop, and what are you planning to use it on? Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
What a question.
I just got some at the Nintendo New York store.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Where you scan the thing. Yeah, that's cool.
That whole place was awesome. I'd never been there before.
Oh, snap. It's quite the experience the first time. That's cool. How many gold coins do I have? I probably have like 200 or so.
How many gold coins equal $1?
100. So it's like, imagine a decimal point, like in between. Like, yep.
I think I have 700 then, because I have $7.
That's a good amount.
I actually just realized that you could like redeem all of the physical games, because like you go up and you're like redeem coins, and I forgot to do that for all the games I got this year, so I started doing that, but I just started doing it. Now I have $7, so
that's the first thing that I do. I put in Luigi's Mansion first thing, redeem my gold points, because I'm gonna forget later.
Yeah.
I must have like 200. I don't really ever plan. I don't like save them up and go, I'm going to buy this. I just, when I'm buying something on the eShop, I just like put it towards that, and I save like 58 cents. Like, I don't know.
That's
something.
What I do too. Or sometimes if I get like an indie, it's like a nice little surprise that it's basically free.
Oh yeah. I've had it happen like once where I was buying some cheap game, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's free. Oh, I think a short hike was like $2 one time, so I bought that game.
How did you like that?
It was good, but it's in the name, a short hike. It was very short. I wish it had a bit more, but I mean, for what it is, it was fun. It was cool. We Don't Make Sense 1 asks, what was your favorite Smash game?
I think Ultimate's my favorite. Actually, I really like Brawl, but I think Ultimate's probably... It just has everything. I feel like there's a lot of content. So the Smash game I've put the most hours in. Me and all my friends played a ton, which I don't usually have with like a Smash game, and so it was cool.
I would go controversial, man. Either Smash. Oh God, how do I say this? Can nostalgia be a factor?
I think so.
Smash 4.
If it's your favorite. That's crazy, though. That is so crazy. Why?
I know. I don't know. I think, well, here's part of the reason. One, nostalgia. Two, my main is a Mii brawler. They were introduced with Smash 4, so it makes it extra special. And that was just like, obviously, Smash Ultimate is the better game. They feel very similar. Like, just Smash Ultimate's just better.
Yeah.
I think it's all nostalgia, honestly. I do love Brawl. Even like the Brawl soundtrack and everything. I love Brawl. Ultimate's great. Smash 4 wins nostalgia, but I can't be blinded by that. So I would probably have to say it's Brawl or Ultimate. But like Brawl doesn't have more content than Ultimate. I guess I'd go Ultimate, but
I mean, you can do it off of vibes, too, because if it is your favorite, it's not the best. It's your favorite.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah, then I go Smash 4. I go Smash 4. Why not?
Did you play it on the 3DS?
I played it on the Wii U most of the time, and I didn't play the 3DS version until about 2 years ago.
Have you, like, what do you think of that? I haven't played it at all on the 3DS.
Well, it ran better than I thought. You're still your 4-player Smash. It's pretty much the same, obviously just more crunchy and compressed and doesn't look as great. But, I mean, it ran really good for a 3DS, I feel.
That's cool.
It was nice. Let's go gaming. Second to last question. What do you think the best 3DS game was? And he says, for me, I cannot say Animal Crossing New Leaf because he knows that's my answer.
3DS is hard. I didn't have a 3DS until a couple of years ago. I kind of like completely missed that whole generation.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Wii U kid, but
same.
God, best 3DS game. I really like Mario 3D Land, but I haven't played a lot of 3DS games. So like there's probably better stuff out there, but out of the ones I've played, 3D Land is probably my favorite.
That's a great one. My only complaint there is it's a bit short, but it's fun. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, it is short. But I think it's super impressive that they put a 3D Mario on a handheld.
Yeah. It was the game, I feel like, when it came out.
Yeah.
It was like awesome. Well, he's saying I can't pick Animal Crossing New Leaf, which was my answer. So I'm going to outsmart you. I go Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer. Dude,
nice.
that's a good game right there. A lot of people I feel like didn't like it. I think it was $40 at launch, and people were saying it wasn't worth it. It's not very fun. I love that game. I got it for my birthday in 2015. Oh man, Happy Home Designer. It's have you played Animal Crossing Happy Home Paradise, the DLC for New Horizons?
I have a little bit, yeah.
It's very similar. It's the same thing pretty much. But yeah, I just love that. And New Leaf is my favorite game, and it felt like a New Leaf DLC pretty much, so that was also cool for me.
Do you like New Horizons more than New Leaf, or?
No, but
New
my
Leaf
favorite
still?
games of all time, New Leaf, New Horizons. It's so close. And at points before, I have said New Horizons is better than New Leaf, but I think I was caught up in the big 2.0 update that they put out for New Horizons. I think I was just like in the honeymoon phase. So I said, New Horizons, way better. But like looking back, it just didn't have the charm that New Leaf had, didn't have all the mini games, didn't do the events as well, like the holiday events. I think New Leaf just has it in that regard. But New Horizons obviously adds terraforming and more items and stuff. So it wins in that sense. But I think it failed to capture a big part of what made New Leaf special.
Yeah, okay.
Final question from Camden. Who do you think would win in a snowball fight? Camden asks funny questions. It's great. Waluigi or Toad? It's tough.
Waluigi's crazy, and he's like a little bit feral, so I think he'd probably go insane and just win. and like bully Toad. Like Toad is so little.
Yeah. I don't really see Toad winning that. Yeah, I would probably go Waluigi. What would make it a fair snowball fight would be if you added in like 3 Toads. Then maybe we're talking.
We had a little army of Toads.
Could be a fair fight there. I go Waluigi though.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like
something.
you'd like throw a snowball and then like go over and like kick Toad or something crazy.
Oh yeah, there you go. Just stomp on him. There you
Yeah,
go.
I mean he doesn't play fair.
No.
It's Waluigi.
Waluigi will win. But my friends, I believe that is it for the Mario Matter episode number 96. Thank you all so much for listening. Do the whole 5-star thing. We would appreciate it. Josie, where can they find you online?
I'm on YouTube at Josie Woah, and I make Nintendo content, mostly around the Switch and like reviewing old games from a different perspective. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Awesome sauce. It was great. And we will be back next week. Sorry, Josie. Josie will return in the future. Mark my words. We're going to have you back on when Switch 2, when the price gets revealed.
When the price gets revealed? Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Once that
God.
happens, we'll have Josie back on. I'll see you all next week for more. Adios.